Okay. So welcome to your confidence practice. If you look up confidence, the first definition has to do with trust in others, actually. It's not until you hit about the third definition that we start talking about the way that we view ourselves. So this theme of trust, I think, is really coming in very strongly for me and what I want to deliver through this practice, trusting that trust is such a key component to feeling confident. Like I trust myself, and so I walk into a situation a little bit taller, a little bit stronger, believing that I can navigate what comes up for me. So with our practice today, I'm just going to weave the theme in like I normally do. This isn't weaving, this is, I don't know what that is. As I normally do, if something doesn't, if you don't hear me, don't panic. It wasn't for you. So different parts of this practice may be for some people and may not be for other people, so don't worry about that. We are actually going to start our practice in a child's pose, but we are going to start in a more compact child's pose. So with the knees together, arms at your sides, palms face up, and the crown of your head to the earth. So tucking the chin in. And if your head does not reach the earth, bringing something underneath. So a book, a block, a blanket, a pillow, and obviously you want space to breathe. And with the knees and the legs just underneath the chest, you start to just naturally breathe more into the back body. So we are going to focus our awareness and our breath on the back body. And be sure that there's not too much pressure on the crown of your head, if any at all. Just lightly allowing the top of your head to rest on the earth. And I'll give you some time if you're still figuring things out, making adjustments. See if you can make your breath just a little bit deeper. Sending it down into the lower back and spreading out the body from the spine, opening, making space. And then releasing. Letting the shoulders sink down toward the earth, the backs of the hands are heavy on the ground. And if your feet are crossed, uncrossing them, making sure that they're parallel. You can also bring a blanket underneath the knee or underneath the hips for support. And move your jaw from side to side. And then relax. The jaw, relax. The tongue. And start to become aware of the crown of the head connection to the earth. So the crown is our connection to universal energy. It is a healing white light or violet light. And maybe you see or feel that light building at the crown of your head. And drawing it down from the crown of the head over the face, through the hair, over the ears, and the cheek. And this healing white light travels through the neck, cleansing and clearing, and activating a brightness within you, traveling through the shoulder and down the right arm, into the right hand and the right finger, cleansing and clearing white light. Some people describe it as sparkly. Maybe that's your experience, sparkly, tingly. And that sensation travels up the right arm and down the left. Feeling it spread all the way down, elbow to wrist, out to the fingertips. And back up the left arm. With each breath, drawing this white light down the back body. And it just soaks in through the back body to the front body. Everything feeling lighter and brighter. Deepening your breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. And this white light travels through the ribs, into the lungs and the heart, and all the organs and connective tissues throughout the body, injecting them with light, cleansing and clearing energy. This continues down the back body. Toward the hips. Down the back body to where your hips meet your leg. Send this healing white energy down and through the right leg. Deepen your breath to send it out through that leg. And if you think of your legs as a garden hose, when you make a kink in it, the water doesn't pass through as freely. But know that when we go to straighten our legs, this bright white light energy will shoot out through them. We do this work anyway. And sending it down through the right leg, cleansing and clearing, making space. All the way down through the feet. And to the toes. You are now completely covered in this beautiful white light energy. And we'll bless the ground beneath us, sending this white light out from the feet. And almost like a reflection of our body in the earth. It rounds around and back to the crown of the head. As if your body is half of a whole. Sending this white light down through the feet and back to the crown of the head. You are tucked away safe in this orb of white light, healing and cleansing energy. Start to lift the head and reach the arms in front of you. Bring your knees out wide and let your body split between the knees. You're welcome to bring a bolster or a rolled up blanket underneath the chest, underneath the thighs. Extended child's pose. Third eye comes to the earth or to a block. And you can keep your arms extended or bend the elbows so that they drop down to the ground, relaxing your arms into the earth. Perhaps you turn your palms up toward the sky through a different rotation in the shoulder. Hips are sinking back toward the heels. I will demonstrate modified for those who need it. Once you have found your posture, letting the hips sink back toward the heel, relaxing tension in the knees and the shoulder. So you can feel that extension, you can feel that stretch, meeting your edge. Breathe into the back body. Again, that long, slow, deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And you now bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, home of your third eye. And this chakra is typically portrayed as a purple or indigo light. Perhaps you become aware of that color or that light in that space. I invite you to just gently rock your head from side to side across the forehead, massaging that space. Each breath, you continue to soften into this posture. When you're ready, bring your head back to stillness, resting the third eye firmly on the earth. And we ground our third eye as a gesture of trust and balance. A grounded third eye trusts itself, balancing the intellect with intuition. Knowing that our intuition is grounded allows us to make those choices and decisions that align with our highest and greatest good. Bring your awareness to the space between the ears, your seat of observation, where with another set of eyes, you look out over the space between your eyebrows, watching your thoughts pass by. And we ground our third eye. And perhaps you see it like a release valve for anxiety. Anxiety will often present itself as intuition or intellect. It wears many masks. And allow yourself, as you watch from that space between your ears, allow your anxieties to pour out from the third eye into the earth. Perhaps you see this as a hole, a portal, a drain. With each breath, we send our anxiety into the earth. Start to come up onto the fingertips and walk your fingertips over toward the right side. If you are using support, bring that support out from the right knee and fold over, extending the left arm out a little bit longer, feeling that opening on the left side. If you feel you want some extra grounding in the third eye, you can always bring your forehead to your knee or to a block or to a book. Press into the right palm. Begin to open the chest up toward the sky. Left arm reaches back. Rotate chest and heart toward the sky. Keep length. Sink your hips back toward your heel. And release the left hand down. Surrender over the leg. This time we'll press into the left palm and reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. This may feel a little bit more challenging. You can come up onto the left fingertips to make space. And release the right hand down. Walk yourself back towards center. Take a moment here in extended child's pose, third eye to the earth. Come back up onto the fingertips and walk over to the left side. Same thing on this side. If you need support, bring it out from the left knee and fold over. Try not to let your weight shift over to the left side. Keep the right hip relatively grounded. Breathe into the right side body. Begin to press into the left palm and reach the right fingertips up toward the sky and maybe a little bit beyond, opening the chest and heart skyward. If you need space, come up onto the fingertips or a block. A block here. Sink the hips back toward the heel. And right hand comes back to the earth, surrendering over the leg. And pressing into the right palm, left fingertips up toward the sky, finding that twist. Sinking the hips back toward the heel. If you need space, come up onto the fingertips or block. And release. Walk yourself back to center. Walk your fingertips back toward the knee. And draw the knees into center, sitting back on the heel. Roll the shoulder. few times. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Open your chest and heart. Draw the shoulders down from the ear. And we're going to start to pigeon the head. So draw the chin back. That's really important. Send the chin out. Forward and back. Don't worry about the arms here too much. If the hands don't meet, you can use a scarf or a belt or a blanket, anything, a shirt, anything to connect the hands. And we'll slow down the neck movement. We have 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the chin in. All right, so drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Move this way. Right ear to the right shoulder. And then begin to draw both hands over toward the right hip. So another option, if this feels awkward to you or if this doesn't feel right, you can release that right arm and just let the left hand hold the right arm. So it's extending along the left side neck. Deep breath. If you're struggling to sit back on the heels, adding some support under the hips. And we'll slowly release the head back to center and interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest and heart, draw the shoulders down, lift the crown of the head, and switch sides. So left ear to left shoulder, hands to the left hip, bending the right elbow. Maybe you extend the left arm long and just hold the left arm with the right hand. Breathing into the right side neck. And then gently float the head back to center, releasing the arms behind the back. With a nice long spine, we'll fold forward, bringing the crown of the head to the earth once again. So the other option here is to have something between the hands. So a scarf or a blanket or a shirt, once again. And so you're holding onto either side, palms facing forward, and then let that come up overhead. Inhale, come all the way up. And release the arms. Come forward onto all fours and step the right foot forward. Stack the knee over the ankle. Second toe is pointing forward. Feeling a stretch already in the back leg, so the top of the left thigh. Come up, lengthen the spine, and then bring your fingertips back to the earth. Lengthen, nice and long. You can close your eyes and find your breath. Two more rounds of breath here. And then send the right knee back to meet the left. Left foot steps forward. Front knee over front ankle. Find that alignment. Lift up. Lengthen the spine and then fingertips back to the earth, sinking in. If you're not feeling the stretch at the top of the right thigh, tucking the back toes under and moving the knee back slightly until you find that stretch. Long spine. You can also bring something underneath the hands to bring the ground up to you. Everyone's got different proportions, so you need that for space. Long, slow, deep breath. And then shift back into table. We'll send the feet over to the right side, hips to the left. Reach for a block or a bolster and bring yourself down onto your back. So I'm opting for the bolster option because I have it. You can also use stacked books or a pile of towels or blankets. And from your back, walk your feet back towards your hips. Lift the hips up toward the sky. Here we want to find a long neck. So watch what I'm doing before we're going through the movement, because once we're in bridge, we don't want to turn the neck while we're putting pressure on it. Okay, so you'll lift the hips, place the bolster underneath the lower back all the way down. So not in the curve of your spine, the lower back. Chin is tucking in toward the chest. Once you've found that comfortable position, send the right leg out long and then the left. If this is tricky on your lower back, try something else. So adjust your position and reach your arms up overhead, reaching out through the fingertips. And then bend the elbows and just let the arms rest here. We're going to spend some time here. So find your breath. And what we're looking to feel here is an opening between the hips across the belly. Remembering that garden hose metaphor. Now the energy shoots freely from fingertips to toes across the front body. Start to bring your awareness to the space between your hip bones. This is the home of your sacral chakra. This is a creative and nurturing space. And energy and light represented by the color orange. Often, perhaps you see that light start to glow bright in this space. And then feel that light bounce between your hip bones from one side to the other. Almost like a game of ping pong between both hips. And this movement of the light starts to break up anything that is dark, anything that is murky, anything that is blocked or fixed or rigid. And with your breath, you'll start to draw that movement. When you're ready, feel it bounce from right to left, up the body, from right side body to left side body. And this orange light passes through all of your organs and your digestive system and your connective tissue. And this is the power of conjuring, of creativity. This is a deep confidence. This is the confidence that a mother feels when she is protecting her child. A primal and instinctive confidence that is now bouncing between the ribs. From right to left, this orange light continues to move up the body. Breaking up anything that is stuck or blocked in the lungs. See or feel this energy move up, passing through the heart space, right to left. From right shoulder to left shoulder. And down the right arm. Inside edge, outside edge. Bouncing back and forth within your skin suit. Down the forearms. And through the palms and each finger. Back and forth, back and forth. It's beautiful, conjuring, creative, orange light moves up the right arm and down the left, back and forth. And up the left arm and through the neck. Let it linger here for a while. And in the jaw, between the jaw and the shoulder, it's this bouncing from back and forth from right to left. These spaces, they're like twins. So when the hips are tense, the jaw is tense. We're going to give it that love and attention and that nurturing, and then start to send the energy up through the face from right ear to left ear, passing through the mind, through the brain, through the skull, from right to left, until you reach the crown of the head. And then send it back down the body. And you may notice that this energy starts to move more quickly through this cleared space as it comes back to its home between the hips. Start to send it down the right leg. Inside edge, outside edge, down and down and down, over the knee, through the calf and the shin, the ankle and the foot, back and forth, and up the right leg, and down the left. And this orange light energy almost extends the limbs, makes you taller. Then moves back up the left leg and comes back to its home between the hips, back and forth. Start to walk your feet up toward the hips. Bring your arms down to your side. Remove what is underneath your lower back and just lower yourself down to the ground. Don't move your knees from side to side. Just lower the lower back and let it sit on the earth. Let it sink in to the earth. Option to send your legs up high if you would like. And let the blood flow down the leg. Breathe the beautiful earth up through the back body. And then when you're ready, bring your left arm alongside the ear. Turn over onto your left side into the fetal position. We pause and honor this transition. And from the left side body, press up to seated. Bringing the feet into pinwheel. So left foot to the inside of the right thigh, right foot behind. You can get there from wide legs. Flex the right foot. Lift and lengthen the spine. Walk the fingertips forward, fold over the legs. So this is another opportunity to bring something for support underneath, or come to the palms, or come to the forearms. Find a beautiful deep breath. Maybe you only have fingertips to the earth. That's okay. Meet yourself wherever you are. Mistakes are part of being human, how we learn. It's easier to have trust in ourselves when we allow ourselves to make mistakes, or how to have confidence in ourselves when we allow ourselves to make mistakes. Because we know that we can learn. We know that if it's not an opportunity to get it right, it's an opportunity to grow. So maybe I don't know what I need to know, but I will learn it. Maybe I don't have all of the skills or information that I need in a given situation, but I trust that I will figure it out as I go. Start to walk your fingertips back toward the hips. And we will use a bolster or blanket or pillows. Again, here. And bring the bolster out from the left hip, or the stack of blankets, or whatever it is that you have. And lift and lengthen the spine, rotate toward this bolster that comes out and back. Walk the fingertips out. And if you can, lower your right ear down. So this is an additional twist in the neck. If it doesn't feel right for the neck, you can come down onto the left ear. And maybe you don't make it to the ear, maybe it's the right cheek. If the left hip is really digging into the earth, you can also fold a blanket and put it underneath the hip. So just lightly folded for comfort. And if you're not really feeling the twist, we bring the bolster so it's pointing back a little bit more, find that twist, and then walk out. Get yourself settled in here, wiggling the toes, releasing tension in the knee, in the hips, breathing deep into that belly. And start to bring your awareness to that right ear, whichever ear is on your pillow, connecting with the ground. And move down to your heart space. Start to think of something that has been said to you, something that hurt your confidence that you took on as a truth. And maybe you have always, on some level, known that it wasn't true, but it's something someone said to you, and maybe you hear their voice, maybe you conjure that memory, maybe this makes you feel uncomfortable. Stay with that uncomfortable feeling. Something someone said to you that hurt your confidence, that made you feel lesser than. And feel that in your heart space. What did it feel like to hear that? Maybe you notice echoes in different parts of your body, certain areas clenching. Maybe your mind immediately wants to block it out or edit the thought. Just stay with it. Hear that person speaking to you. And if you are ready, I'd like to give you the opportunity to release this thing that was no longer true, that is no longer something you believe about yourself. And do that by bringing your awareness to the ear, the right ear, whichever ear is grounded. And from that ear, reach down. A root begins to grow down, down, and down through the pillow, through the floor, down into the earth. Let this root grow down. And as the root grows down into the earth, it becomes magnetic to that phrase, that word, that thought, that memory that you once carried around as a truth about yourself, that you are now ready to release. And let that root drag this untruth out through the ear. Hear it draw down and down and down into the earth. Feel it drain out of your body. Notice where you feel lighter and brighter. As this magnet sucks all of this idea out of your body. Out through the ear and down into the earth. Down and down and down. And start to follow it down with your vision until you come to a place where the roots form an orb and you are at the center. And at the center of this orb is a light. Notice its color and its size and its name. This is a new thought or idea that you get to carry back into yourself. I am beautiful, I am strong, I am courageous, whatever it is, hear it. And in your mind's eye, you take this light and you eat it. And then you begin to travel back up the root, feeling this energy absorbing through the mouth, holding it here until you get to the top, moving up and up and up the root, through the earth, through the floor, back up to the ear, And from your mouth comes this new truth, the one that will take the space that was created by the untruth. Allow it to move from your ear through your mind and through your throat and down into your heart space where it integrates. And say it back to yourself 3 times. Start to walk your fingertips back toward your hips. Coming out of your twist. Sending the legs out wide. You can place a folded blanket underneath the bum here. And just let the sits bones come down off the edge. Lengthen the spine, hinge at the hips, and fold over. Maybe your fingertips are up here. Close your eyes. Roll the shoulders down the back. Keep the spine long. And then walk the fingertips a little bit more. If it's available to you, you can round the spine, bring your forearms to the earth. Crown of the head reaches down. We're not here for long. 2 more rounds of breath. And begin to walk your fingertips back. This time the right foot comes to the center of the left thigh, left foot behind. If you want to place that folded blanket underneath the right hip, you can do that here. And then walk the fingertips forward, folding over straight from the right ankle. Maybe your forearms come down. Maybe you use pillows or stack something underneath you for comfort. And start to walk the fingertips back toward the hips. We'll use the bolster or blanket stack on the other side, coming out from the right hip. Lift and lengthen the spine, rotate the belly toward your bolster. Walk your fingertips out, left ear down, if that's available to you. But be sure that you are resting on the opposite side to the last one. So if you are able to twist your neck one way and not the other, still switching ear, if that makes sense. Wiggle the toes, soften the knees and the hips. Deepen your breath into your belly. And now bringing your awareness to your left ear, or whichever ear is grounded. And then drawing your awareness down to your heart space. Bring to mind and to your heart something you have said to yourself. A thought or idea, a statement you find yourself saying back to you that demeans you, that puts you down or hurts your confidence. I don't want to give you examples because I'm sure we all have something. But find the one that you are ready to release, where you're just there. And know that through these exercises, maybe it doesn't go away completely, but it's a movement in the right direction. And become aware of how this makes you feel to hear yourself say it back, to be aware of yourself saying it, to observe yourself saying this untruth. And maybe this untruth protected you at some point in your life. Maybe it gave you a kind of resilience through experiences where you needed it. And so we can honor that aspect of it as you begin to bring your awareness back to your left ear, and a root grows out from this space, down and down into the earth, through the pillow, through the floor, through stone and water, down and down into the earth. Until this root becomes magnetic and draws this untruth out from your left ear. Feel it drain and draw out from the ear, dragging it down into the earth. And maybe you start to remember times when you've said this to yourself, situation, examples, whatever is coming to your mind, let that go too. With kindness, compassion, and love, we allow this untruth to draw down into the earth deeper and deeper. Feel the spaces that are being created in your body, a sense of lightness as this idea leaves you. Then taking your vision down this route, down and down into the earth until you come to a room, a clearing, a cave-like space deep within the earth. And at the center is a book. As you approach the book, you see that something new has been written about you. A beautiful affirmation. Something to nourish you. And you may take this book with you as you move up the route, up and up and up, up through the earth, the water and stone, up through the floor and the pillow and back into the ear. And once you have reached the ear, opening the book in your mind space, perhaps that observer sitting in that chair between the ears, and reading it back to yourself 3 times. And feel that vibration travel down through the throat and into the heart space, where you feel the truth of this statement. Allow yourself to sit and integrate this new truth. It probably isn't new. And start to walk your fingertips back towards your hip. Coming up to seated. Turn over into table position once again. And we'll step that right foot forward again. This time walking the toes off the mat, foot on a 45-degree angle, and send the right knee out to the side. If you need more space in the back leg, tuck the toes under, move the knee back. And there are ways to support yourself here as well. So you can stack blankets and pillows underneath the body, starting at the knee. You can come down onto your forearms on a bolster or a block. If your arms are long, adding a little micro bend into the elbows, just to soften there, or coming onto the fists if the wrists need a break. Send that right knee out to the side, sink in. If the sole of your foot is pointing up toward the sky, see if you can bring the sole of the foot back down to the earth and only lift the big toe. And whatever resistance you meet mentally or physically, stay with it. Stay in that place of the observer, watching your reactions, watching your drives, your impulse to move, to make conclusions. We have 2 more rounds of breath here. And then keep the foot planted. So drop the big toe to the earth, keep the foot planted, and draw the hips back. You can walk your fingertips back toward the hips. Keep the toes grounded. So your foot is on that angle. Your toes are planted on the earth. And you'll feel this stretch across the top of the foot and into the leg. And then bring the right knee back to meet the left. Step the left foot forward, left foot to the outside of the mat, toes on a 45-degree angle or foot on a 45-degree angle. Tuck the back toes under to move the right knee back. Find your lizard stretch on this side. Try and demonstrate this way. Ground all 4 corners of the feet and just lift the big toe. Just the big toe. This is where you can soften down onto some supports, maybe a pillow, forearms to the earth. Notice any tension in the jaw or the shoulders. See if you can soften through the face. And this is one of those postures where you really meet yourself. Automatic thoughts, where things like I can't definitely bubble up to the surface. And if I can't is coming up, what can you do? Maybe coming up out of the posture just slightly, finding other ways to support yourself. Observing whether it's a physical I can't or a mental one. We have 2 more rounds of breath here. And then keeping the left foot right where it is, shift the hips back. Straighten the left leg, keep the toes planted. You can walk the fingertips back for support and for balance. That left foot is on a slight angle and the hips are reaching back toward the right toe. So there's almost a little bit of a twist in the leg as you stretch. Maybe you feel this at the top of the left foot. And begin to step the left knee back. Shift over onto the bum and bring yourself down to the earth. So I highly recommend a rolled up blanket or a bolster under the thigh. Towels are actually probably better than most of our household blankets for this, but we're at the end of our practice now. So and lower yourself down. Feet are uncrossed, feet are about mat distance apart or a little bit less. Arms to your sides, palms face up. And just drop in. And see if you can find complete stillness here, scanning your body with your breath. Letting the heels and the backs of the hands become heavy. I invite you to bring your awareness now to the base of your spine. This is the root chakra and is traditionally represented by a red light. See or feel or sense this red light. And its deep and low bass tone, vibration. And this is where we stabilize all of our energy center. This is where we seal in the work we have done tonight, allowing that deep vibration, red light, travel out from the base of your spine and down your right leg, through the thigh, and the knee, the shin and the calf, ankle, the right foot and the right toe. And up the right leg. It moves slowly and gently down the left leg, the thigh, the knee, the calf, and the shin, and the ankle, to the foot and the toes. This deep vibration rumbles through the legs, and you feel safe and secure in this space. And it moves up the left leg and up through the body, through the hips and the flesh of the belly, the ribs and chest. This deep vibration rattles between the ribs and up the shoulder, down the right arm, up the right arm, down the left arm, up the left arm, through the neck, and your entire body feels safe and secure in this deep vibration red. And this feeling moves over your face, around the lips, and around the nose, and around the eyes. And the eyelids are heavy as this deep rumbling red energy moves through the face and the scalp. And you are now entirely relaxed, safe, and secure in the earth. And if you're moving on to sleep, only doing the first part of what I say, just wiggling the fingers and toes and coming back into a more conscious place, coming back into the room. Bring your right hand to your heart space and your left hand to your belly. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the elbows. Just feel for your heartbeat underneath your right palm. And this is your moment of gratitude, finding something that you're grateful for today. And letting that fill your heart space with the pulse and with the breath. And maybe you stay here, coming out whenever you're ready from Shavasana. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Always.